All right. I'm going to do a quick VOD review of your Mercy play, as you asked for on Reddit. You said you're a 2800 Mercy player. You just did your placements. Let's see what you got. I'm going to start on your loss here, at least for the video. I did take a quick look at Blizzard World, the win on that one. Not really much to talk about there other than team diff. Simple team diff there. So you won that one pretty easily because it was kind of hard to lose. And then also on that one, I will mention that you played Mercy Zen, in which, like, yeah, it's not undoable, but doesn't really play to the best of Mercy. So in that situation, you'd probably switch to a BAP or an Ana, just because Zen only heals for 30 healing per second, and Mercy only heals for 55 per second, whereas BAP and Ana can heal much more than that and keep your tanks up for the battles that they need to be kept up in. If that wasn't so much of a team diff, then you would have struggled on Mercy Zen because you were playing Reinhardt, and Reinhardt demands a lot of resources to actually do things. It's just such that in that game, they didn't pressure the Reinhardt so much that he actually needed all those resources because it was a team diff, if that makes sense. I might go more into that later, but I'll stick just to this one for now. Okay, so you're starting off, obviously, pocketing this Pharah, which is awesome. We're hoping to get the Pharah to boop someone off of the edge. Let's see if she does. I'm curious, does she even go for it? What was that? Oh, she conked in the beginning. Oh, that sucks. Missed opportunity. We kill an Ana early, so this is a pretty much instant fight win, unless they could do something about that. Good keeping your Ana up, but you want to go back up. You want to be in the sky. As much as possible, you just want to be in the sky. If you have a Pharah, you just want to be in the sky. And specifically, your Pharah is playing like pretty far out here in the open. Like I noticed that your Pharah kind of started and just kind of like being here, existing here. This isn't fantastic. Pharah wants to be playing the roof, right? Pharah wants to be on the roof. And the more Pharah is kind of on the roof here and playing the angle of the roof, which is important to like survive, then you can play further back on the roof, right? And so ideal peak Mercy play is that you want to be invisible to the enemy DPS players. If they don't have opportunities to kill you, well, you're not going to die, are you? So that's kind of important. When you're on the ground, you're a lot easier to hit. Okay, so that's kind of a thing. You don't have to damage boost him while he's on the ground here. So looking at this, see your Reinhardt's kind of not full HP. He's on the ground and you're blue beaming him. You could have healed through that. Yeah, you got to keep him up now. A lot of time spent on the ground here when you didn't really have to. Okay, natural instinct on this Ana. I know they're like if you're looking at the game right now, it doesn't actually matter too much because they don't have pressure on you for this res. But any principled Mercy player would have absolutely Guardian Angeled past the soul and taken this natural cover to res. Not a, you know, like it's wildly misplaying to just sit here and be like, sure, shoot me while I do this. Like, you know, there's no one there, sure, but get into the habit of like flying past the soul into the natural cover, because that's a very important thing. Keep your tracer up here. There you go. Okay, learn how to super jump too. That's going to be like important. I know I see like you're kind of new to the Mercy hero. There's plenty of videos on it. You just want to learn how to super jump. In spawn rooms, just practice super jumping. Like warm up your super jump while you're in the spawn room. Just by like super jumping off your allies while you're waiting 45 seconds for the doors to open. Worth it. Super worth it. While you're waiting for queues, go into like the training range or whatever and just practice super jumping. Just get it to be something that you do constantly so that you can have information. Because what is Mercy ultimately? She's a slippery little bitch, and she is a game sense hero. She's a shot calling hero. Because you can at any point just be in the air looking down on the game in like a helicopter view. You can see things like this as Mercy, whereas Ryan is, you know, he's looking like this. So Ryan can see shit, but you can really see shit. You know what I mean? And so you have a better vantage of the game state than other people generally. And all you're doing is attaching a beam to somebody, which is pretty second nature. It's not hard to get Mercy's mechanics down pretty second nature to a point where you're looking at the field and you're not even thinking about the buttons you're pressing. They're just pressing themselves because it doesn't really take a whole lot of mechanical skill to do those things. Until you're really getting pressured, you're not really thinking about your mechanics. You're really just thinking about game sense. Where should I be? What are they going to do next? What ults are they going to use? What ult should we use? You know, things like that. What do they have? Where should we go? Where should we stabilize? All these things super important as a Mercy player because you have the time to think about it. You don't have to worry about your mechanics so much. Keep your Ana up here. Your Ana's down. So you're healing a lot of tanks, and I noticed this in a comment too. One of the comments in your post just said, hey, stop healing your tanks so much. Your team died because of it. And it's kind of true, right? And because you don't heal at as high of a rate, but Ana does, then your ability to keep tanks alive is directly proportional to actually your ability to keep your Ana alive so that Ana can keep your tanks alive. So think of her on your team as like a tank healer, and you're more of a squishy healer. So you keep your Ana up and your Tracer and your Pharah, and she'll take care of you and the tanks because she just heals for more. She straight up just heals for more. So as long as she has the angle, your tanks can take the angles they need to take. That's a really bad res. That's so bad. So right now you're seeing there's a McCree guarding that corpse. That's within your vision. And you get hooked. So there was also a hog guarding that. And so also you're probably going to lose this fight. And now it's worse that you rezzed. Like if you had Guardian Angel to that spot and just died instead, it'd been better. But now they're going to kill your Pharah again. So yeah, there goes your Pharah. Sedge. Yeah. And so we're just kind of staying back, waiting for our tanks to give us the space we need. And you know that. You're doing pretty well with that. Go back a second here. As you're kind of walking by, notice like this little bits of damage you're taking here. And you're very linear in your movement. Like you have Guardian Angel available. So here, like when you walk past spaces where you could get shot, all right, a good practice is to just Guardian Angel. So watch here for a second. What if I just stood here for a second, right? I know where my Ryan's going, right? I know where Ryan's going. I stand here for a second. I kind of like peek with my team or whatever, and then I Guardian Angel to my Ryan. So when I'm in vision, I'm Guardian Angeling. It's like, it's safer, right? Maybe you wouldn't have gotten hit by that Genji. Maybe not like a big deal, but like when you put in the practice a lot, it's big. So in actuality, with that beat, their hog just saved your Ryan from absolutely certain death by disallowing him from hitting his charge button. Kind of funny. Okay, so we're keeping our Ana up here. Your Ryan does not want to push past the middle at this point. He's doing it. Okay. This is rough. We're actually getting behind him. Maybe it wasn't so bad to do that. Well, let's pay attention to you more. Okay, so we're kind of damage boosting him. We're trying to keep our Ana alive. This is good. This is your recognition that like you need to keep your squishies up. Your Ryan is so dead though. No, okay. So in this case, you just need to be up, right? You need to be up in the air. Can you feel this sense of like, I need to be in the air? Do you feel that? Like, please just get me in the air, right? This is a super jump moment. So you super jump here, and now you're up here. And Hog can choose to keep shooting you, but then he's shooting at nobody else. Whereas here, if he's shooting you and he's missing you, well, he's hitting your Ana, right? And so this is the disadvantage of being on the ground all the time, is that you can't take advantage of the fact of like you can be flying up here, looking around, seeing kind of more what's happening, and you're not like causing other people in your team to get shot at because people are trying to shoot you and missing and hitting people behind you. No, what? Yeah, you're just not safe there. Like you don't control the space as much as you think. Or actually, it does kind of look like you do. But then he was just there. No, it was a good play on the Genji. It did actually look like you controlled that space. Hold on. Because you did have a Pharah and a Tracer there. Dang, okay. I don't know if I blame you too much for that res, but you could have also gone behind the pillar. So like you didn't have Guardian Angel up at the time is kind of the big problem here. You do this thing here, and then you see the soul, you don't have a Guardian Angel, but if you did, then you could have gone to this side of it and did one of those like sort of covered, like I was telling you before, the covered res. Yeah.
I must go where I'm needed. Right beside you.
Oh no. We don't talk about it. We just don't talk about it. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. We don't talk about it. Okay. Use cover on that one. Nice. Keeping your Tracer up. Finally attaching to Pharah. This is good. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Go up, go up, go up. There we go. Nice. So you want to be using Valk when the teams connect. All right? When it's 6v6 and the teams connect and both teams have committed to the fight, right? That means they've taken the positions in which they can't really return. They can't just be like, oh, never mind, I don't want to take this fight anymore. All right? Once that happens, you press Valk and it forces them to either A, use ults, or B, lose the fight. Basically is what that works out to be. And so that's like one of the best uses of Valk. Because they have to choose to lose the fight or trade for your ult. And your ult is a really good trade for their ults usually. No. So whenever this is happening, first of all, look at your team. How much of my team is about to die to this, right? Generally, if your team's about to like, man, this is hard. It looks bad because the people that fell down to the Sigma thing, the Sigma ult, they're not the ones that like they didn't just die to Sigma ult. They really died to the High Noon, right? You see them using a bunch of ults in reaction to your team using ults, right? And so like, check this out. Go back a second. See how the team has like fucking 5 ults on the enemy team? They're actually using 5 ults right now. And so hearing all of that, you should not have Valked, because this is no longer like a neutral 6v6 commit. If they had like made this fight without using any ults, then it would have been better. But you also note that they were high in ult economy. If you were ult tracking, you'd know that they would have a bunch of ults, and you know you're at 95%. So there's no way they don't just press a bunch of Q. They're obviously going to press Q. Obviously going to press Q, right? And so you don't want to put your Valk in front of a bunch of Q, like unnecessarily. There's no way this Valk saves the fight. Your team absolutely loses this fight. There's just no way. Not even with Nano and Valk can you save this. And so this Valk doesn't get value. Where you could have traded Nano for 5 ults, you traded Nano and Valk for 5 ults. And now you're just working on getting maybe a Primal. We're on BAP now too. Okay. Your Pharah needs you. You're really not paying attention to Pharah much. Oh no. No, don't do it. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. I like how you're holding natural cover around the outside like that. I mean, this fight feels very lost. No way. Yeah. Just, there's nothing you can do.
Score 0-1.
So I want to go back and kind of look at a little bit of that. Just as far as like getting an idea of what's going on. Let's see. So back before this fight began, you know we've got Primal, and that's kind of what we're playing for. You're hoping no one gets hooked. So hopefully in comms here you're saying Hog looking for hook. You take a rock. Your team's gonna kind of going through, and note that your Pharah is trying to get to ult as well, which she can get to, and she does actually get to at the very end of the game, not quite fast enough. If you pocketed her, your damage boost gives her 30% more damage, which is 30% more ultimate charge. So you could help her get to Barrage faster. Barrage can potentially do something here. Okay, so your team's in. And here, what you want to do, here what the play was. Hold on. Okay, so I'm not sure why your Guardian Angel didn't go very much higher than that. I'm trying to figure that out. Let's slow this down a bit. What's going on here? Okay, so you didn't have, you didn't look up high enough, and you Guardian Angel to the Tracer. See that? You Guardian Angel to Tracer. And so the play here, what would have, I think, turned out a lot better for you? So you're here, right? You look up a lot more. You do like a flick. You flick up, and you Guardian Angel up to here, and you find yourself up to like here, and you float here while damage boosting the Pharah and just looking for information, telling your team things like, oh, the McCree is on right side, or I'm sorry, the Cassidy is on right side. But here you don't get that information. In fact, you spend a lot of time looking straight up. Excuse me, I had a cough there. You spend a lot of time looking straight up, and the more you're looking up and not like down, the less information you have. You're kind of just in the middle of the space here. Didn't quite get that. You're really trying so hard to get up there, and that's fine, right? But you don't have to constantly look up to know where your Pharah is because you're beamed to her. You know where she is because your beam takes you there. Okay? And you don't have to always be looking at your beam target, obviously. And I think you know that. Obviously, don't go for this res. You're up here, right? You want to stay here, like you angelic descent and like stay this kind of course, right? Stay this course. Don't go into the spam lane of damage down here. There's no reason to be in this area. Okay? But I'm finding you kind of dropping down into that area. You like this Guardian Angel didn't make any sense. This is like, I would like to die now, please. Please kill me. Alright, and so we're trying to get the hell out of here. You lost your Tracer and your monkey there. Look at, what is Tracer up to? I'm curious. He's standing in the spam lane. He dies and he headshot. And then Winston gets booped. You kill the Genji. You're purpled. You just want to like attach to Pharah here. Get to that ult as quick as possible. Try to keep your Ryan up if you can because your Bap is really just trying, but he's taking so much damage and the Hog is like a real problem. Kind of wish she stayed on Ana so that she could purple that Hog. But I guess Bap, because she was getting hit by the Genji a lot, maybe wasn't feeling like Ana could get value because she was getting hit by Genji a lot. Once your tanks go down and your Pharah goes down and your Tracer's down, I mean, you can do whatever you want here, but the game's over, right? It's just over. They kind of just, they kind of got you. Yeah. So, I'll say one more thing about this map. This divider here is really important, right? So the way this map has this pillar in the middle, but also has these like little wall things too on the side, is an indication that this map splits right here. Like this is so important, right? On this side of the map, which we call white side because it's white room, it's a lot more cover, more favorable for Rhine comps. Whereas on this side there's some cover, but there's not nearly as much. And so this favors long range angles spam. This is the spam side of the map. This is the brawl side of the map. And so when you're playing a Rhine comp, it's good to go this side. It's good that your Rhine went this side. It's hard for Rhine to walk the other side of the point. And you can kind of tell them that. You can say, hey, let's stay white side, stay on our side, let them come to us and play this side of point. So that, like, for example, this BAP player doesn't have to move pretty much like out of this position. Like BAP can heal Rhine sitting around here. And even as Ana, like, what if Ana is sitting on this mini? Just chilling, shooting her Rhine. What's stopping her? As long as Rhine doesn't go too far around the side, right? If Rhine goes on this side, now he's on the spam side, he's going to die. And so there was definitely some times where your team is trying to play the spam side, and it's mainly because you have people on your team like the Pharah and the Tracer and the Winston who are trying to out angle them on this side of the map. And you see that a lot, right? So as you're kind of like, let's put this up here. You see how as your Rhine goes into the brawl side of the map, Winston is kind of also on the brawl side of the map. He should have gone the other way. Your whole team, like, trying to play this side of the map is cool and all. It shows that you're trying to, like, play the brawl side, but you're probably, I mean, because of the heroes you have, you probably want to be flanking around. Like, the only way you can actually get this hog off the point, probably, is if you get that sort of flank action going on. You notice how the red kind of just controls this side? No one's behind him. No one's doing anything about that. And it's because we're really trying to push this. And now we're not doing terrible. We are kind of pushing them out. It's just that their presence is still there. The McCree's still there. Like, look at these positions, right? We can't last long. We can't sit under this fire forever. Of course, the Tracer's going to die there. It's just rough. The Winston gets booped off. That's kind of rough. Yeah. So if you were playing a more short range comp, like with a Mei and a Reaper and stuff like that, then maybe playing this at a point and pressuring, like maybe telling them to, like, hey, come in here, come in here, come in here, would have been good. But you are playing this sort of like hybrid brawl spam comp where you're kind of like, what should I call it? Hybrid brawl spam. Is you have some heroes that want to stick close to Rhine, and you have some heroes that want to flank around and do things, and they just didn't. So that kind of sucks. If you were to have pocketed the Pharah and said, hey, let's go right side, then you could have turned a lot of attention here, and your Rhine could have gotten a stronger foothold on being able to actually walk around to this dangerous side of point. That could have been a thing. It's hard to really go into all that, especially as a new Mercy, because you still might be new to making calls. I don't know if you're actually level 27. I doubt it because you're placing Plat. So this is probably a Smurf account or something. Maybe not a Smurf account, but a new account. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Let's see what we're doing next. Usually this map is very Symmetra focused, but it looks like neither team is opting into using Symmetra. Very interesting. Okay, and so you're on Mercy Zen now. When you don't have that Ana or BAP in the co-support slot with you, then your Rhine now actually is going to be relying on you for pretty much all the heals. So you can't take too many damage boost opportunities anymore, and you definitely can't just go on like flanking adventures with your DPS like what you could do if you had an Ana or a BAP. You actually do have to stick close to your tank, which doesn't play to Mercy's like kit very well. like Mercy wants to stay out of sight, but how can she stay out of sight if she's kind of forced to be the one that heals the tanks, right? Mercy's not hidden right now. Mercy's just in the thick of it. You know what I mean? Getting hit with a fire strike when you could be flying. You're pretty much on like full-time heal this Ryan mode. And see, like, this whole fight... Let's go back a second. Watch this. So watch this real quick. This interaction between the enemy Reinhardt and your Reinhardt, right? Let's ponder the differences as to whether, like, let's say you're Ana instead of Mercy, right? So, one... go back a second here. This where you're damage boosting, and you're kind of, like, trying to give him extra damage. Instead, you just throw an anti-nade at the Reinhardt, and this fight's over. Just instantly. And then like this Reinhardt also doesn't die. You could throw a sleep dart at the hog, sleep the hog, anti the Rein. Your Rein pushes out, you win the fight immediately. Like, that's the difference, right? Instead, you're just heal beaming the Reinhardt. It's not getting as much value. Rein doesn't just win these fights instantly. He's got a larger uphill battle to go because he doesn't have the utility of that anti-nade. He doesn't have the super high healing of Ana. That's something like your Rein just can't survive that. But this all could have been very avoided. This that's winnable. It's 4v4. It's not the worst. At least you're not using Valk when you're lower. Although I feel like you popped Valk as soon as your McCree did the your Cassie did the high noon. Let's check. So you were down 2, all right, and then he killed 2, and then you Valked. Okay, so that's fine. That's not bad. Because the idea that I would be pointing out there is you don't necessarily want to Valk when you're just like try to save a fight. You want to Valk when you kind of like have a neutral to create advantage where advantage didn't exist. But you can't create advantage when you're down in people. If it's like 6v5 and you're down 1, don't use Valk to create advantage because it's not going to work. Like, Valk is not worth a player. If you're 1 down, Valk does not replace that player and make it like a favorable for you. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. It's really good though when it's like neutral 6v6, 5v5, 4v4. So the time you use that, it was 4v4, so that's fine. That sucks.
A speedy recovery.
Got it.
I'm taking care of you.
Still on the Zen. Okay, you have trans now though, so this is potentially pushable. That's crazy. I feel like you forced your trans just because of that res. Watch this again. Okay, no. It was the Genji blading. So it's whatever. You got the bubble for it at least. If you asked for bubble on that res, then good res. If you didn't ask for it and just hoped she'd give it to you, bad res. Good. I really like what you did here. So something you did that I like, right, is you see where Ryan is, right? And you see that he's kind of going for this Zen. And so you try, instead of walking towards this choke, you backpedal. Because you know you can separate yourselves and eventually Guardian Angel out. So this backpedal here shows that you know how to use your Guardian Angel pretty well like that. And you're able to get out, which is pretty awesome. Nice going on that. Weren't able to get out of that one though, it looks like. So you Guardian Angel out here, you play around this cover, right? And they're following you. And so the next one that you want to maybe do is you know your team is going to go into here. So what if you came out here and went behind the lion, waited for your team to do that, and then super jumped or something and got like maybe slingshotted yourself into here? You can keep doing that sort of thing. But you kind of just follow them and trying to go into Mega. And they're just here. Unfortunate. All right.
Starting over from the beginning. Your support has arrived. I'm taking care of you. I'm weak. Damage increase.
So many opportunities to anti-nade this. Like, you could be on a... Your team kind of needs you to be on that kind of hero. That's fine. Super winnable fight. Nice. And they res that, which is actually good for your team. Because you've already won the fight. Ideally, hopefully. See how that turned out to be a feed res? Yeah, so I pointed out earlier when they res the Rhine that like that was a good res for you, and that's exactly why. You got an extra 500 ultimate charge, at least, out of that for your team. Good cover. You're taking cover behind the wall. Nice.
Performance levels. You needed a doctor? Damage amplified.
You need to check flanks more. You're not marking the lanes. There you go.
Let me get you patched up. Fire at will. I'm taking care of you.
Yeah. You need super jump so much. You really, really need super jump for situations like these. It's just like required. Okay, you're on the goose. Gonna try to take the coast or nah? Okay. It's a tough rollout. I don't blame you. It's stalling. Not much you can do. Biggest thing here I can see, honestly, it's probably just lack of super jumping, especially on this last point here. Back. Like all this, you could be super jump, you get some height, you get to look through, you can like look through these windows a bit, you can see through this window a little more, like as you're super jumping and looking around. You just want to be hungry for information so that you can tell it to your team, tell them what's going on. And also just being outside of things like that Helix rocket. Go back a second. Right? This Helix rocket that's coming at you because you're on the ground. Yeah. Things like that. They go for res. They get res on hog. Then they have this. And immediately as you hear that sound, you super jump off this Zarya. You go all the way up to here. You get about this height. And this hopefully doesn't happen. Yeah. But I mean, it's gonna be hard to like still win these fights anyway. It's just about maximizing your chances. Just be like if you had super jump there, I'm not saying you'd win the fight. But it's about maximizing your chances of winning the fight. Alright, well. That's pretty much this one. I could look at maybe a win. I could check the next one. I didn't really get much out of the Blizzard world, but we can check with Gibraltar and see what you're doing on that one.
Arriving at watch point Gibraltar.
Would have been cool if we got a third map. Oh, hold on, wait. Where are you? All the way over here. Okay.
Attackers incoming.
Oh, what do you got? Okay, so you're playing Soldier Junk, Double Bubble with Ana. Okay, so Ana can keep your tanks alive, you can keep pretty much junk Ana alive. Soldier generally can heal himself, but you can pocket him on off angles for value. You can pocket the Junkrat, damage boost him for value. A lot of value from both of those.
Careful out there. I've got you. Damage amplified.
If your team isn't even talking about it, but they're in comms though, and you have an Ana, great thing to start is just to ask one of your DPS teammates if they can TP your Ana. Okay, and this is a common thing, right? The sim TP down to here for your Ana allows her to walk this way and get these kind of views. And these can be like really, really good for your monkey's ability to dive onto the island. By island, of course, I mean this over here. I'm going to draw it. Hold on a second. It's going to be this thing is island and this thing is blue box. Super important. You want to maximize your ability to get both of these. If you can control both of these, you can win this point. Just straight up. So yeah, recommending to your team to take this TP. It's one of those just call out things. Being a shot caller as a mercy is kind of important. So then you'd be like, hey team, can we TP our Ana over left side to left high ground? And hopefully they'll just TP then switch to soldier or Junkrat. Oops, there we go. Team's taking the low ground approach. Hopefully Winston's going to jump up to the island. There we go. He went up there in the car wash. Hanzo wants your ass.
Be at peak performance.
You survived. That's good.
I'm here.
No one's pushing cart. Hey, you're honest on cart. That's good.
Hello.
That was such a weird push. Enemy team just didn't do anything.
Stream engaged.
They have Hog Diva, so they can't really do a whole lot. If we go back, I'll point this out just for general knowledge purposes.
Damage amplified.
Just for science, right? Let's pull this up a bit. Go here, right? Zarya being up here, cool. They have... Oh, they're on Zarya Hog. Oh, that's even worse. So, cardinal sin on this map defense is to not play any hero that can contest payload at this corner. You need to have a ball or a Winston or a Diva or something that can drop down, hold point for a second so that your team doesn't just let it sail away and then jump back up, right? And so in that case, like a Winston drops off of here, contests point, and then jumps back up when it's not safe anymore. Like if you don't do that, then cart sails under the car wash, which is what you're going to see here. This is exactly the issue with playing like a grounded comp on Gibraltar defense, is that like here, okay, see this? Hog understands that he needs to stall cart here in order to like fully get advantage from holding island. Island is only powerful in like if you can stall cart here and play this fight out for a long time. If you can do that, then island is powerful. If you can't, then you're just gonna be like, okay, cool. You can go under here, let it sail away, and then we're playing for second phase over here, where blue box and catwalk are important and server room's important. You're basically just giving that up. And if you watch how this plays out, the hog really going to be able to stall this cart? Once they see this hog on this low ground, your team can just go low ground. What can hog do against 4 or 5 people? Nothing. He fucking runs away. Hanzo tries to kill you, dies for it, and now they have no presence on the cart. Cart sails away. They lost. Look at this. Winston destroying them. They've lost the island on top, and so now they're pretty much in full retreat mode. What you want to be saying to your Ana here is, I can get you into server room. Let's get Ana into server room, right? Because when you're trying to attack the second phase, you're going to want your Ana in here controlling Mega, taking these shots, taking these angles right here, right? And so you want to like convince your Ana that it's important to get into here, especially when you're struggling more. You're not struggling on this one though. This is no struggle. Your team just completely destroyed theirs, and it's really just a team diff. This is a massive team diff in this point. Team composition diff as well. Like you're not even pushing cart here because it doesn't matter. Now your Ana goes back, whatever. Your team completely dismantled what they were trying to do. It doesn't matter what you were doing. This entire game, you would have done that anyway. It would have been the same if you had just pretty much stayed in the spawn room, probably. They come out for a second fight. They don't really control very many angles, so the hog just feeds. Your team wins the fight. That's cool. We take those. Really important when you first get this point that your team immediately doesn't allow people to walk past this choke, right? These guys, they just probably lost some people, which they did. Obviously, you can see up here, lost. They want to immediately retreat, right? But this spawn is so terrible because they can only walk out of this room here or this room here. And so as soon as they walk out, they're vulnerable to you and you should kill them immediately. If they live, that's your team's fault. That's your team being bad if they live. So watch this. Your team lets them kind of just regroup. Kind of sad that they let them do that. And now they're already getting a foothold on the important positions. Yeah, that sucks. Let's see you. Sorry, here you go. Go back a bit. Okay. Kind of damage boosting this guy a little bit, maybe. There we go. Damage boost a Junkrat a bit. No. You can't get much information up here. You're in the wrong spot. Where should you be? On this guy. You can be sneaked around here, damage boosting him, get more information. You can super jump off of him, stand on this thing, damage boost him, get more information. You can stand back, you can see more, you can see where your Junkrat is, you can see where the payload is. But like looking here, like what really is happening in this moment outside of just like there being a Zarya in front of you, where is the rest of your team? What are they doing? You got to get some context clues as to where your soldier is, which should really indicate like where you should be, because obviously pocket your DPS with damage boost if you're going to play Mercy. See your soldier going up there? Huge. That's prime time. You want to go up there with him. You're not even looking up there. You need to go up there. Like, you want to live against this Reaper? Your soldier gave you the opportunity. You look up there and you dash to him. So how do you do that? All right. You're looking at you seeing up there. You jump on the payload and then you shift up to him. Right there. And then you don't die to the Reaper.
Heroes never die.
Okay. It's fine. They nano the Reaper, okay. Nice. Damage boost that. You got their healers. This is easy. You should win this. Monkey diff, honestly. It's nice when the tank diff is on your side. You got some bad spawns. So you want to play this slow. Playing slow just means playing to live. Not taking too many aggressive plays, especially not ulting. Playing slow just means playing slow. What is going on here? No, you do not res that. Yes, you go back to your team. Ideally, you don't fall off this edge. Nice, good height. You're in kind of retreating mode right now. Okay, make sure this feeding diva actually feeds. Whenever diva feeds into your team, make sure she actually feeds. Like always call a feeding diva. If you had super jump in your repertoire more, you wouldn't have gotten hit by the Arc Shatter. And this is a mess. This game turned from like pretty clean into like kind of a clown fiesta.
My thanks.
Beat, okay. Oh my god, this is crazy. What the fuck is this? They're gonna start using a bunch of ults. Yeah.
Die Wunder der modernen Medizin.
What's their mercy up to? Just curious. Not doing as much. Not doing too much. Just chilling. Yeah, your team is just like not regrouping. Can we go? I mean, this is like something you could do is you could call to your team to regroup here. Right? And if I go back a little ways, maybe a little more ways. Here we go, right? We're back like a really far ways. We're gonna play this in fast motion and kind of watch this fight unfold just a little bit, and like watch your team kind of just like not do anything for a while. So we're down 1. We're at 5 now. Okay, we're at 4. We're at sort of 5 almost. Now we're kind of at 5. We're at 4. Still at 4. Now we're kind of at 5. All right, it's been a while. Now we're at 6. Okay, now we're at 6. We all get shattered. Okay, now we're at 5. Lots of shit's happening. What is this bullshit, right? Who even knows what this shit is? We're sort of 6 right now. Yeah, we're kind of 6. We kill 1, but we get killed 1, so now it's 5v5. We get a weird res that we shouldn't have been able to get. That's weird. Shit happens. We're at 4. We're at 3. We're at 4. They're at 6. We're at 4. We're at 4. Like, okay, we're at 5. And now we're at 6. It's just like really poor regrouping on your team. Yeah, I just, in my opinion, looked really, really weird, poor regrouping. And a lot of that could have been solved by like
My ultimate is charged.
calling a regroup, calling a fallback, calling like you can use the chat commands to fall back a bit, but especially this elo, like your team in Plat shouldn't be so susceptible to staggering like that. They should be able to group up better than they can. I think sometimes maybe they just need a call out to get their minds set to it again. There's a big res on their team.
Let's get you that outfit. You should be a
Dude. This is a really weird game, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, it's so disorganized that I don't even know what to say.
A clean bill of form up. Group up with me. Okay. You needed a doctor.
Lucio Mercy is never ideal. Okay, you're on Ana now. That's nice. Sigma Zarya, I suppose that's fine. You kind of like, it's kind of like this is actually not a bad point for Reinhardt to push. But I mean, Sigma should be able to do it. I think if I were to like select different heroes here, I'd like to see maybe see a Ryan Zarya. Perhaps it can work pretty well. It means they have to back up, and if, like especially teams that are playing very low groundy, might as well just play Ryan Zarya into this and see what you can get. Because it's just, this is the ideal conditions to play Ryan Zarya against. You could also just play a little spammier, like the Sigma's fine if you also have an Orisa or a Hog to play with it, but like Zarya Sigma doesn't make much sense. The Sigma can't really be aggressive even with bubble. Is kind of one of the problems. So that's kind of a problem you're running into, I think, a little bit here. Jeez, dude. Okay. Big tire. Good damage boost target. Okay. It's about to be 6v6. You Valk on commit. Not bad. Good getting away from the Reaper. Yes. I like that. Pull the pistol out. Kill Diana. Okay. Let's see how you defend this map. You have obviously a random Torbjorn. Very cool. And you're going to play Sig Zarya. So same issue. Like, you don't have a way to stall cart and get full advantage of... Oh my god, no. This is really... Yeah, your team needs to have more high ground because you're just giving this up. Sorry, whoop, let me put down this menu. Dang. This doesn't really even look like a Plat game. It's kind of crazy. It's just so much low ground. Like, Winston's just up there. You got 4 on the bottom. Winston just gets a free kill in the Torb. Junk's trying to hold island. You can get a res here, maybe. But yeah, that Widow's going to make a problem for you. No way. No way. No way, dude. Yeah. No way. You can't res under that kind of pressure. They've got like 2 snipers looking at you. No way, dude. It's a little easier going for reses like that when you have Valk because you have a little bit faster movement. I like this. I like it less when he's storm arrowing. You could have killed him potentially there. I don't want to say it was a bad move just because he died. I think as you get more confident with the Glock, you can take that duel and win it. You want to be more up in his face and don't give him that 5-meter range. Otherwise, it's easier for him to find the flick and kill you. If you're right up in his grill, it's harder for him to make those like you're actually on his screen, moving around like on like the like if you're up in his shit where is he? Where's this asshole? Right here. You're up in his shit like this close to him and like just going back and forth. Dude, he can't find the damage. He can't find the flick. So that's something to think about. Dang, that sucks. Nice movement throughout this. We'll watch that again a little bit. I got some hide up here. That was nice. If you can locate like where the Widow is, you can find out where on this catwalk is safe, and you can heal your team from up here. If you're safe up here, and because like you see like where the Widow is there, you just be peeling around here. You can actually beam people from up here and be safe. You can like spam some crouch up here. Don't have to be all over the low ground like this if you didn't really want to be. And you can super jump to the high ground at any point in time.
new.
You really held that. Nice. Okay, cool. You super jumped at the high ground here, normally. Oh, you did it. Okay, so you know how to super jump. You just don't do it very much. Interesting. This whole time you baited me. My god. I like it. I like the sneaky. This is good. They don't know. They lack the critical information. Large. No, no, blue beam him. Blue beam him. He needed that blue beam. Okay. No, dude. Okay. Dang. So the reason they're doing this is they don't want you to get a foothold on the map. They want to be able to take this phase, and they're willing to commit pretty much all their ults, and they should be, because this is so hard to take once they lose a fight. If blue loses a fight, this is nearly impossible to take. It is worth just blowing as many ults as you have to see if you can skip this entire section entirely as the attacking team. The defending team wants to win one fight, so now they have spaceship, they have like mega room over here held, they have like this side held, you know, everything. If the cart gets to like here and the blue team has to regroup and somehow come out of these 4 doors and get that to the finish line, it's a huge task, dude. That's hard. This is one of the hardest points to do. So that's why they're primaling you and trying to keep you out of the door. Suddenly you're a super jumper. I don't like what. Where was this in Lijiang anywhere? That's dangerous. Okay. The Junkrat, nice. Okay, so you actually you managed to win this fight. It's gonna be hard for them from this point. I don't think maybe they'll be able to take this next point, but this is gonna be tough for them. Good damage.
Let's get you back out there.
60 seconds remaining.
Oh no. Well, he's dead. Don't try to save him. Don't. No, 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 no. Okay, so just because this worked doesn't mean it was a good idea. And it hasn't necessarily worked yet, has it? What the fuck is this?
I'm taking care of you. Damage boost engaged.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Oh, Junkrat.
Oh, wow. That was close. Oh no. Oh no, don't. Oh no, no. Oh, that's. I'm sorry. That's your Torbolt ult. Confused by the colors a little bit there. My bad. Going for Valk. Full battle mercy. A little bit questionable. Nice win.
Victory.
Yeah, I mean, kind of weird that you super jumped a bit there and didn't do too bad at it. So it shows me that it's in your repertoire, but you just kind of choose not to do it a lot. Like, I don't know, do it more. That's weird. Um, there's definitely a lot of times like I would have maybe adjusted some of the things I said. I would have talked about super jumping opportunities more on Lijiang Tower had I known that you could do it. Because I mean, like, I just assumed like, oh, okay, well, if you had super jump, you do it here, but it, obviously you don't have it, so you're not doing it. But there's like so many opportunities that you could have. Not like I guess not like in a whole lot, but definitely there's times when you just don't want to be in the pack of your team, and you just want to super jump to be in the air, so that anyone shooting at you has to commit to just shooting you. Excuse me, and not just shooting like your team and randomly chipping damage at you. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Hope you liked it and hope you learned from it. If any questions, you can follow up questions as a comment to this YouTube video and let me know. And you can submit more codes later if you'd like to. Have a good day.